The Secret Misses. Chapter 601. Luna had meant to clarify, but at that moment, a little monk ran over and reminded Xian Jing that the Dharma assembly was about to start. Xian Jing did not seem like he had any intention of explaining the meaning of his cryptic message. He immediately bade farewell to Mason and Luna before leaving quickly. Luna could only turn to Mason, confused. "Mr. Mason, you ought to understand the master better than I do. Look at this flower he drew me. What could it mean?" Mason held up the paper and analyzed it closely, but he had no clue either. "I cannot guess Abbott's thought process either." After he said that, Mason expressed his surprise to her. Every day, many people ask the master similar questions, and every time, his answer would run along the lines that everything has been destined. Very unexpected of him to actually draw something personally for you. Luna's mouth twitched as she softly mumbled, "Well, if you put it like that, even though I feel honored, this flower is a little too mysterious, isn't it? Forget it, I'll go home and sleep on it." Just before they were leaving the hall, Mason turned around and stared at the Buddha statue for quite a while. Luna put her hand over his shoulders and firmly steered him around, not letting him look any longer. "Hey, don't look anymore. What's so good about being a monk? You recite the Buddhist scripture every day, you can't drink or eat meat, you can't even get married. Next time, I'll treat you to drinks and prepare a carnivorous feast for you. I guarantee that you won't want to become a monk ever again. What's the difference between a life where you can't pick up girls and being a salted fish?" Luna was using all her brain juice to come up with endless reasons not to become a monk. Mason finally stopped looking at the statue and faced her instead, with clear eyes reflecting nothing but her. After half a day of hard work, Luna did not disappoint and brought Mason home after all. At this moment, Mother was silently crying at the hut. She had already lost hope of her son ever changing his mind. Father looked troubled. Even though Elder George did not say anything, he was the most pressured of all the George family members. After all, the reason his grandson had such a determination to learn Buddhist teachings could be attributed to his influence. "Why is this taking so long?" Elder Brown anxiously looked out for the duo for half a day. Elder George sighed, "Old Brown, tell Luna to come back. We'll think of something again. In such a short time frame, what can we come up with?" Mother looked at the time, exclaiming, "There's still another half an hour before Mason is going to go bald." Her fat drops of tears fell even faster. "If my Mason really becomes a monk, I'll shave and become a nun too." Father panicked at the sound of his and he admonished, "You, what nonsense are you spewing? Such rubbish. How am I being nonsensical now? Our son's already becoming a monk, what more is there for me? So, you'll just stop caring for our other son, Kevin, and forget about me?" The entire family was still debating anxiously when they suddenly saw someone walking over from the end of the corridor. Luna was back. Mother was about to console Luna so she wouldn't feel too bad, but in the next second, they saw a familiar shadow trailing after her. It was her precious son. Mother was instantly astonished, then she cried in elation, "Mason! Mason!" Mother, grandfather and Elder Brown were surprised and happy to see Mason. However, uncertainty loomed in their hearts. Could this be their final meeting before he took the plunge to go bald? Until Mason walked in front of them and called out one by one, "Father, Mother, Grandfather, Grandfather Brown." Wait, he had actually stopped saying, "Benefactor this, benefactor that." Chapter 602. Did this mean that he changed his mind and is not becoming a monk anymore? Mother's eyes welled up, she could not hold it in anymore and started to hug her son and cry, "Mason, you frightened me." Father rejoiced as well and took Ning's hands to say, "Luna, thank you. Thank you." If it hadn't been for Luna, he would have lost both his wife and son to the monastery. "Luna, how did you manage to advise Mason?" Elder George asked emotionally. "Yeah, Luna, Auntie really doesn't know how to thank you." Obviously, Luna could not tell them outright how she did it, so she quickly waved her hand and coughed, "Uncle, Auntie, Grandfather George, I didn't actually do anything. When I went there, Mr. Mason had already been moved by your bits of advice. All of it was your doing, not mine." "Sweet child, you're too humble." Mother looked at the girl in front of her with her bright eyes, pearly white teeth, and simple dressing. The more she looked at her, the more she liked what she saw. In fact, no one could move her son with any advice, yet, this girl had done it. It only confirmed that her son's feelings towards this girl were definitely out of the ordinary. If she could matchmake the two of them, then she would not have to worry about her son having any thoughts of becoming a monk again. "Luna, come to our house for dinner tonight. No matter what, this time I must thank you properly." Elder George nodded firmly. "This is a must." Elder Brown observed the mannerisms of the Georges family, knowing what they were thinking, and he naturally was happy about it as well. At the same time, in the black car outside the Buddhist temple. "Bro, I'm back. Don't worry, sister-in-law has settled everything in her majorly cool way. All unscathed." Cleo intentionally put on a relaxed grin and spoke as if nothing odd had happened as he reported to his brother. However, when Theo's unpredictable eyes shot a look at him, Cleo shuddered for no reason. "What is it, bro?" He really held on to sealing his steadfast lips and did not blurt anything. Theo's eyes squinted, his gaze piercing through one's soul. He asked quietly, "All left unscathed?" Yeah. What's wrong?" Cleo said innocently. "Tell me the truth." The air around Theo suddenly stilled. Cleo blinked his eyes and said in the sincerest tone, "Bro, I'm telling the truth." Sister-in-law did not agree to any of Mason's unreasonable requests at all. The truth about last night didn't even come out. Isn't this deemed leaving unscathed? How could he tell the truth and dig his own grave? From an outsider's point of view, Ningxi's trick was smart and cool, but to Theo, that would definitely be seen as a lightning strike that could level an entire city. The worst thing was that he had not stopped her in time because he was stunned by what he had seen. Just this one scene he witnessed could send him to death 100 times. "Don't let me ask a second time." The moment Theo warned him, the air pressure dropped and it felt like the instant before a tornado hits. Initially, he did not want to think too much about it, but he knew Cleo too well. The calmer the man seemed, the higher the plausibility was that something had happened. In fact, it most likely was not something small. Cleo had seen Theo in a similar current situation once, many years ago. That was when Theo had rearranged the entire family's internal structure and questioned everyone to find out who was the mole. Even the mole lost it on the spot when confronted with his quaking anger. Cleo trembled as he thought to himself, "Damn it. I am your biological brother. Do you have to use that style of criminal interrogation with me? Where's your humanity?" Chapter 603. Forget it. Ever since sister-in-law appeared, he was not in the mood to play anymore. Just as Cleo was silently throwing daggered insults at him, Theo continued focusing his pressuring aura on his brother. Little Treasure was concentrating on his drawing, oblivious to all that was happening around him. Facing his brother's cool gaze, Cleo felt his goosebumps rise as his entire body shivered. Damn it. He couldn't hold on anymore. Sister-in-law really didn't do anything, she just toppled Mason over to tease him a little. Then, Mason obviously couldn't control himself, he immediately blushed so hard. Sister-in-law grabbed the opportunity to trigger him by saying that his thoughts were not pure enough, that he would contaminate the sacredness of Buddhism and that he was not suitable to become a monk. Cleo spat everything out honestly. If the devil Theo really knew sorcery, the glass on these car windows would have shattered by then and there would be a complete devastation of the land within a 100-meter radius. Cleo was so frightened that his heart was about to stop. He silently hugged the only one outside of the storm, Little Treasure, for protection. Little Treasure was just focused on drawing and had not heard what Cleo said. When he felt his second uncle suddenly hug him, his little face frowned, then he looked down to scribble a line of words on his writing board, exclusively for Luna. He meant to say, "Yours truly is exclusive for Luna only, you cannot simply hug me." Cleo looked at the line of words in disbelief. Oh. Why is the entire world hurting me? Because Theo and the rest were still waiting for her, Luna politely declined the Mason family's invitation to dinner. Despite knowing that she might possibly be putting herself in a difficult situation, she promised that she would go over the next time. I'm back. Everything is settled. Let's go. The moment Luna tugged the car door open, Cleo, who was threatened by his brother and despised by little Treasure, immediately lamented, "Sister-in-law, the both of them are bullying me." "Huh, sister-in-law. It seems that if I don't beat you up, you would never regain your memory." Luna started to evilly crack her knuckles. Cleo instantly felt lambasted and he peered out of the window, mumbling, "This heartless world, I too want to become a monk and be done with everything." Luna ignored him as she took out the flower Master Xian Jing had drawn for her and started examining it. Cleo was immediately attracted to the thing in Luna's hand. He exclaimed, "Sis, bro Luna, what's this?" "A flower. Did Mason give it to you?" "What nonsense. This is Master Xian Jing's message to me." "Huh. This is obviously a flower." Cleo indicated that his eyes were not blind. Luna turned the flower around repeatedly but still could not see anything. Sigh, "Master is such a master, I don't understand what the meaning of this is at all." Suddenly, her eyes lit up. She quickly popped her head over the shotgun seat and said, "Big boss, you're so knowledgeable, you must know something about this. Help me take a look." The girl's head randomly appeared beside his ear, her warm breath lingering and penetrating Theo's shield of cool aura. He took the piece of paper to look closely and after a while, he frowned slightly. "Why did Abbott offer you a word?" Luna scratched her head. "I just simply asked. I said that recently I felt restless and if he could offer me some wisdom or something. Then, he drew this flower and gave it to me without saying what it meant." He couldn't possibly be complimenting me on my beauty, could he?" It was indeed difficult to guess the meaning within the strange flower. Even Theo could not immediately think of what it could mean. Chapter 604. That was when Cleo looked over and said with a surprised expression, "Is this very hard to fathom? Master Xian Jing's thoughts are so obvious." "Obvious? What's obvious?" Luna was confused, although Cleo's thought process was unlike the run-of-the-mill person. Cleo blinked. "Look for yourself. The question you asked was probably about good or ill luck, and what Master Xian Jing drew was a peach blossom. Isn't this obvious that you recently have misfortune in romance?" Luna stuttered, "Romance, misfortune." Theo was speechless. Cleo looked innocently. "Did I say something wrong?" Luna's face darkened. "What you said makes a lot of sense." She stayed silent as she could not say anything more. It started to make more sense to her. She really did have signs of romance misfortunes recently. Even Theo thought it added up. Luna looked miserable as she tore at her hair. "Pfft. Can it be? Then, what should I do? Master didn't tell me a way how to resolve this. Should I go back and ask? Do you still need to ask the master about this?" "You should just ask me. The way to resolve this is obviously to find someone to get married to. Then, you wouldn't have romance anymore." Cleo said this matter-of-factly as he stared at his brother's cool expression. He added on meaningfully, "This is like the legendary adage of killing hundreds of flowers after they blossom." Luna looked awful. "Marriage, hey, doesn't that mean there's no solution then?" "Pfft, Cleo, I actually believed your nonsense. Who said this was definitely romance misfortune? This is obviously a peach blossom. If it's not referring to calamity in romance, then what else could it be?" Luna shot him an annoyed look. "Can't it be luck in romance?" Cleo laughed and mumbled, "If this meant you have luck in romance, then it would be my brother's misfortune. In fact, it's a life and death kind of misfortune." At that moment, Luna's phone rang, indicating that she had a new message. Luna was still thinking about what the flower meant as she absent-mindedly looked at her phone, and after a look, she almost dropped her phone. Luna, what's wrong? What just frightened you so much?" Cleo asked weakly. Luna's face had turned pale as if she had just seen a ghost. Theo frowned and looked over too. Luna held her head, feeling lightheaded from the message. She wanted to knock her head against Cleo. This harbinger of doom. I'm afraid I really must be facing some misfortune in romance now. After a while, Luna forced herself to breathe deeply. She turned to Theo to say, "Big boss, I have an emergency I have to deal with. I might not be able to go home tonight. Can you take care of little treasure for tonight? When will you be back?" Theo asked. Luna did not know what to answer. I'm not sure. If I can be quick, tomorrow morning. If I'm late, it might be the day after tomorrow. Whatever it is, the moment I'm done, I will immediately call to let you know. Then, she hugged the little treasure tightly in her arms. "Baby, Auntie has some things to do and I have to leave for a while. Be good and listen to your father, okay?" Theo looked at the girl protectively. "I'll send you." There's no need. I'll go myself." Luna obviously did not want to say any more, so she rushed out of the car in a panicked frenzy. Theo watched Luna's silhouette leave with a gaze that became increasingly heavy. Chapter 605. What did that message say? I've never seen sister-in-law this afraid. Could it be something dangerous? Cleo sighed, "Too bad, I didn't sneak a peek just now." When he said that, the little bun on the side instantly perked up his ears, then wrote on his board, "Danger?" Cleo quickly thought of something and asked the little bun, "Little treasure, did you see what Luna's message said? If you know, you must tell your father and second uncle, because it's very important. I'm worried your Luna might really be in danger." Little treasure looked at Theo uncertainly. Theo nodded. This time, Cleo had not said nonsense. Luna did leave in an alarm. Once he knew Luna might be in danger, little treasure immediately looked down and started to write. Theo and Cleo looked over nervously. Little treasure very quickly wrote the entire message content. "Meet on the rooftop tonight. First senior brother." Whoa. First senior brother and all that. And even planning to meet up on the rooftop. Jesus, it can't really be some misfortune in romance, could it? That's not right. If that was the case, Luna could just not go. Why did she rush over? Cleo felt that something was amiss, but he had no idea what. Just as he was mumbling in suspicion, he looked up to see his brother's face in the rearview mirror. It was at the peak of scariness. It was 1,000 times scarier than when he heard Luna use the seduction trick on Shi. He was bottling his emotions in, but it looked like it was ready to explode. "Bro, what is it? Is something wrong?" Looking at Theo's expression, Cleo felt a little guilty. Theo did not say anything and made a call instead. When Cleo saw the name of the person he was calling, he was shocked. Wow, why did his brother contact Pablo for? Could Luna really be in danger? Looks like there was only one possibility. First senior brother was a dangerous person. Could it be related to the person they had been investigating recently? After that, Theo made a second phone call and very quickly, the butler rushed over and took little treasure away. As soon as little treasure was taken away, Theo immediately floored the accelerator and the car flew like an arrow. Cleo, who was sitting at the back, almost vomited. "Oh, bro, your biological brother is still in the car." At the same time, Luna tore back to Regal Riveria. When she reached, she did not even swing by home, directly taking the elevator to the highest floor. Then, she climbed up the stairs, pushed open the door and went up to the roof. Trevor's message only specified a vague timing of tonight. So she was not sure exactly what time either. Just to be safe, Luna had rushed over as early as possible, then she sat on the ground alone with her thoughts. Worry started to build. First senior brother actually came to look for her. The senior who always remained in town with the organization and rarely left actually came to look for her personally in China. That itself was enough to frighten Luna. What did the first senior brother come to China for the last time? Right. It was to execute an S-level mission. Then, what about this time? He came a long way here. What was it for? Luna waited from dusk till the moon came up. The roof was quiet, not a single movement could be detected. Luna was about to suspect that this was a prank. If this message was from second senior brother, it could be a prank. But this was first senior brother, so there was no way she was being fooled. He was really going to come. And so she waited. Chapter 606. At the same time, below Luna's building in a corner with an unobscured view. A black Maybach was parked quietly not too far away, and a small team of armed forces were on standby, ready to attack any time. As night fell, the air seemed to have frozen, everyone's hearts tensed. In the dark corner, Alex's phone suddenly rang. He was in the middle of an important mission and did not want to pick up, but once he saw who was calling, he picked it up. "Hello, what's up?" "Alex bro, I heard you are on a mission. Why didn't you call me?" Bruce asked. Brody's voice added, and me. Obviously, the two of them were together at the moment. Alex pinched the space between his brows. "The mission this time is related to Miss Brown. Are you two sure you want to join?" There was silence from the other end of the phone. Then, Bruce and Brody replied at the same time, "Yes." Alex raised his brows slightly in pleasant surprise. "It's good that the both of you have come to understand. However, because of your performance the last time, there is no way the boss would let you two join such missions again." Then what do we do?" Bruce's constricted voice questioned. "Damn it, protecting the lady boss. Was there a more important mission than this one?" Much to their chagrin, they were being excluded. What was the difference from being thrown into the cold cellar? Alex sighed. He knew that he would definitely regret it one day. "Alex bro, help us beg the boss," Brody pleaded. Alex looked helplessly and budged a little. "I don't have such capabilities, but I can direct you guys to a possible solution. If you want to beg someone, then you should ask for Miss Brown's help." Bruce hesitated. "Would that work?" "There's no way she would help us. Brody is not too bad, but The last time, he had offended the lady boss horribly. Miss Brown is actually really kind, she's very soft-hearted. If the both of you speak nicely to her, she would agree. I still have something to do here, so I can't talk much, let's leave it at that." Alex was afraid of getting distracted and affecting tonight's mission, so he quickly hung up. He did not want to follow after Bruce and Brody's footsteps. He had no idea what huge issue was happening tonight that made the big boss so nervous. At that moment, in Theo's car, the screen in the middle was a live footage of the situation on the rooftop. Because it was infrared surveillance, they had night vision to their advantage. Apart from the slightly dim light, he could still see Luna's tensed expression as she lay on the terrace, waiting. Her hair billowed messily in the night wind, and a never-before-seen sullenness was etched all over her face. Another 2 hours went by, only another half an hour before it would be 12 midnight. The message content had said, "Tonight," so shouldn't the person they were waiting for make his appearance soon? If the other person actually came. On the rooftop, Luna's impatience was running out to the point that she wanted to curse. God damn it. This was really asking for it. Couldn't he have given a more concrete time? Didn't he know that making a girl wait is not very gentlemanlike? Fine. These guys have never thought of her as a girl anyway. The worst thing was that even though first senior brother could have contacted her, she had no way of chasing him for time. It was always a one-way contact when it came to first senior's brother. No phone could reach him and messages sent would not be received by him. Chapter 607. Time passed by slowly in minutes and seconds. Luna already lost count of the times she checked her watch. She looked down and saw 23:59:53. My God. He didn't flake on her, did he? It was only 7 seconds away from the next day. Even if he rushed over here now, he definitely would not make it. Wasn't first senior brother the most punctual person? Tick-tock, tick-tock. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Just as the second hand was going to jump to midnight, a loud roar came from above her. At the same time, there was a tornado of dust eddying around her. Luna's first reaction was, Jesus. What the hell? I wore a skirt today. Luna used one hand to hold down her skirt, which was flapping wildly in the wind, as she looked up to the sky with squinted eyes. A helicopter landed from the sky and stopped 10 steps away from her. Luna was speechless. This guy was deserving of being the first senior brother. He really was punctual to the dot. Below, in the black Maybach, Cleo's eyes widened. Whoa. I kept looking on the road, but he actually came from the sky. Theo picked up the wireless walkie-talkie without a change in his expression and ordered everyone to be on standby. On the rooftop, the propeller circled several times before it finally came to a slow stop. The air regained its silence and the dust settled. Luna released the edges of her skirt. Behind the helicopter was a huge lamp, which seemed to glare so much that she almost could not open her eyes. She could only vaguely see a clear shadow disembark from the helicopter, then walk towards her. Even though it was only 10 steps away, every step was like a thud on her heart, making her tremble with fear. She could not guess the first senior brother's motives at all, and that made her afraid. All she knew was that if Trevor was making a move by himself, then it must be an extremely serious and sticky matter. Luna's gaze sharpened as she tried her best to prepare for anything that might occur, even expecting the worst. Finally, the man was only 5 steps away from her. Because he was so close now, Luna could finally see his face clearly. He wore his signature gold-framed spectacles and looked proper and polite. However, just as one might be deceived by this facade, thinking he is a vulnerable scholar, one would pay the highest price. Just seeing that pair of spectacles made Luna terrified, so much so that her calves and belly shuddered. This time it must be over. The first senior brother wasn't here to wipe her off the face of earth, was he? For the past 1 year, she was busy with shooting films, so she did not have time to practice her skills at all. The last time she had only managed to execute third senior sister's 100 moves. Even then, that was not accurate. Among all, her skills were already the worst. Even if she practiced, she would not be able to compare to first senior brother's single finger. Her combat capabilities and his were too different. 5 steps, 4 steps, 3 steps. Luna was already considering to immediately escape or just kneel to beg. That way, her chances of survival would be much higher. Finally, just as she was hesitating, Trevor was already standing in front of her. She had lost the chance to run away, leaving only the option to kneel down and beg now. Across her, the light danced across Trevor's spectacle. Little junior sister, long time no see. Chapter 608. The dropping of the pearls on the jade container made a clear, soothing sound. But to Luna, they sounded as if they were voices straight from hell. Luna took a deep breath and faced him face on, unable to keep herself calm, so she tried to play it cool. It's been a long time indeed. First senior brother, why are you here? For some reason, Trevor's face darkened upon hearing Luna's question. Luna was even more convicted of her prediction after she saw Trevor's expression change. After a short silence, Trevor said slowly, S-class mission. Luna's face went pale. As she had expected, she probably would not live past that day. Had it been a year ago, it would not matter. Even if she was surrounded by a bunch of girls and she had to die in the next second, she would have regretted nothing. But now, she had her dreams, her career, her friends, little treasure, and also, Theo. Dying was definitely not on her to-do list. Not anytime soon. Particularly when she thought about little treasure who was waiting for her at home, her desire to live grew even stronger. First senior brother, are you really doing this to me, to someone of the same clan? Luna tried to convince him. Trevor's eyebrows shot up as he remained silent and raised his hand. Just as Luna was going through that nerve-wracking moment, 2 men came down from the helicopter upon Trevor's signal. Luna frowned. What was happening? Did that beast overestimate her? Did he send not just first senior brother here, but even helpers to finish someone like her? Sweat broke out all over Luna's forehead. She knew that it was useless to try convincing him anymore, so she started formulating a plan. At such a long distance, her chances of failing were high, but she still had to try. As Trevor turned around to look at the two men, Luna swiftly bolted towards the exit. Before she could extend her legs into her third step, she felt something fall over her and then tighten around her waist. She looked down to see a noose tied around her, and before she knew it, she was yanked back to where she stood before. She rolled onto the floor and they soon bound her up in rope. First senior brother was really getting better at tying people up. At the same time, on the lower floor, Theo saw a bound Luna from the monitor screen, his finger anxiously hovering over the button of his communication device, preparing to issue the order anytime. Cleo ground his teeth in heightened nervousness. This guy on the rooftop was extremely bad news. Despite wearing a pair of glasses and looking so dapper, he had cruel intentions. Luna looked at Trevor, who was holding the rope that bound her. First senior brother, aren't you overestimating me? Surely all of this is wasting too much resources to send you just to deal with someone like me. Trevor did not say anything and looked at her with a terrifying gaze. The two men beside him each held a long rectangular box and a palm-sized box. Trevor pushed up his sleeves and opened the boxes to check their contents. Chapter 609. The light was too glaring for Luna to see the content of the boxes. She could only guess that there was some sort of weapon inside. After closely examining the contents, Trevor took the small box and retrieved something from the larger box, then walked towards her. Although Luna was not good at combat, she was an expert in escaping, and she was already freeing herself as Trevor walked towards her. As she was about to break free, she suddenly froze. That was when she saw them. Neither a gun nor a knife. Not even any kind of weapon either. It was the largest bouquet of red roses she had ever seen. The roses still had water dew on them, as if they were freshly picked and put together, creating a perfectly round bunch of velvety red flowers. Luna blinked and blinked again. She thought her eyes were playing tricks on her. Was this his latest weapon? The master had said before that at the pinnacle, one would not require a weapon anymore. Even if it was just a branch, a leaf, or even a single petal, you could still use it to maim and kill. Within just a year, First Brother Senior was already at this level? Amazing. First Senior Brother, when did your assassination skills get this good? Luna asked in despair, giving up on her plan to resist. Everything was futile in front of the true wielders of strength. All that was left waiting for her was death. Trevor started advancing nearer to her. He lowered himself and knelt down on one knee. Luna felt awkward as she saw Trevor kneel down on one knee with a bouquet of roses in his hands. She did not know how to react. Question marks were written all over her face. First Senior Brother, is this your new stance? That's quite refreshing. First Senior Brother, let's calm down and talk. What do I need to do to have you spare my life? Master, Second Senior Brother, and Third Senior Sister cared about me so much, they would never forgive you. Luna had no idea what she was talking about as she rattled on, trying to drag out what she thought were the last few minutes of her life. Trevor glanced at her and then opened the small box in the midst of her blabbering. A huge diamond ring was in the box, shimmering in all its glory from the reflection of the strong backlight. Luna shut her eyes to shield them from the intense glare. She felt her heartbeat pick up even faster as she questioned, "Wow. Is this some sort of new weapon? Marry me." Luna was speechless. Everything, including the air, stopped moving. She swore that even her heart stopped beating that moment as her mind went blank. But she was not alone. Theo had already pressed the button, then he saw the man kneel in front of her and he clearly lip-read what the man had said, "Marry me." Both Theo and Cleo were shocked and speechless. Cleo said with a stoic face, "I feel like my knowledge and experience is being remodeled every day ever since I met sister-in-law. How exciting." "Boss, your orders please." "Boss. Boss?" Anxious voices called through the communication device. The boss was not sure what just happened as well. There was no reply. Chapter 610. Luna was dumbfounded by Trevor's shocker. "First Senior Brother, are you too bored from honing your skills?" She could not believe what was happening to her right now. But deep down, she knew that it was a fact. first senior brother was proposing to her. Which was even more shocking than first senior brother trying to kill her. Trevor ignored Luna's shocked expression and remained solemn. He then took a pink paper out and read it aloud in an emotionless, robotic tone. I'm willing to let you have my heart and my everything, but please spare me my eyes, for they enabled me to see you. There is nothing in me that isn't conquered by you. You took the life of every part of me and brought along their death. If I still need to lose something else, please take it, but please spare my eyes, as they enabled me to see you. Luna was confused. He sounded so odd. The tone of the poem sounded familiar. Could he have adopted the principle and culture of the company to write this? Could first senior brother have been pranked by someone? 1,000 possibilities flowed through Luna's mind. First senior brother, may I know if this is a marriage proposal? Yes. Luna frowned and looked lost. Trevor then quickly added, on behalf of Satan. Luna was alarmed. She knew it. Luna took a deep breath, her chest rising up and down. Don't tell me. Your so-called S-rank mission is to come here and propose to me in place of him? Yes. Damn it, where is my knife? Get me a knife. I'm going to kill him. Your reply, please. She had been scared to death, yet, he still insisted for a reply. Luna could not stand it anymore, anger starting to bubble from the pits of her stomach. First senior brother, are you sure you're proposing and not torturing me? And what makes you think that you can substitute someone for a proposal? Ridiculous. Your reply please, Trevor repeated like a robot that was directed. I refuse. Luna loosened herself from the rope at that moment. Reason, Trevor stated. Luna exploded, damn it. You made me wait a whole night and scared the soul out of me, then you tie me up and propose? I've never seen such a special proposal before. Now, you dare to ask me for my reason of refusal? She saw Trevor click a pen after she finished her lecture. He had even brought a voice recording pen. Luna's mouth twitched as she forcefully grabbed it from him and pressed on the recording button. She roared at it, no girl would ever like you and your stupidly low EQ. You can stay single forever. She felt slightly relieved after that. But then, she saw something that turned her blood cold. Trevor handed over the flowers and diamond rings to the two men, then he raised his hands and slowly took off his gold-framed glasses. Luna's heart leapt into her throat as she backed away in fear. First senior brother, we can talk, you don't need to take off your glasses. Chapter 6:11. Everyone who was close to Trevor understood that once he took off his glasses and went into battle mode, he transformed into another persona. He would become an extremely dangerous being, pretty much a maniac. What's this? Are you trying to force me now? Listen to me, first senior brother, you can't force your way through. Luna tried to persuade him. Trevor was like a walking weapon, but the Trevor sans his glasses was like an unsheathed sword. His eyes were full of bloodlust and even the way he spoke was different. My dear junior sister, don't worry, I'm just going to test you. No. I refuse. Luna yelled immediately as she shook her head vigorously. Trouble was coming one after another. Why did he suddenly want to fight her? Trevor ignored her and launched into his attack. Damn it. Are you for real? This was Trevor. Not her third senior sister Feng Xiao Xiao. If she could take on 10 of his attacks or so, she would be considered doing well, but in her current state, having slacked off training for a year, she might only be able to just withstand 4 or 5 attacks. Luna tried to defend herself while shouting at him, calm down, first senior brother. Calm down. What's happening? Why are you so eager for a fight? Didn't second senior brother satisfy you? Trevor became even more violent after he heard her mention second senior brother. He snarled and aggressively came at her as if he was a beast that was just released from his cage after a few hundred years of imprisonment. Luna felt something was not right. First senior brother, what's going on? I can't take it anymore. Stop, I can't. Really, no more. Trevor's grip was already encasing her throat. She would be dead if he continued constricting her airways. Trevor was unstable at that moment. He was almost on the verge of going berserk and nearly failed to hold himself back. His sharp senses suddenly picked up some movement and he glanced downstairs. He quickly let go of Luna and put his glasses back on while Luna was still petrified as she gasped to inhale the sweet air that she longed for. Luna panted, "First senior brother, what's the matter? Did anything happen to second senior brother?" "He's missing," Trevor replied curtly. The manic fire in his eyes extinguished after he put his glasses back on and his stoic poker face returned, but there was an obvious depressive aura when he replied Luna. "What? Missing?" Luna was surprised. Second senior brother was talented and picked up everything very quickly. On the other hand, first senior brother was the exact opposite. He would train endlessly to the extreme to master certain skills. Only second senior brother could measure up to first senior brother. The combat warrior, first senior brother, always picked him to practice dueling with. With second senior brother's attitude and the way he learned so well without investing much effort, Trevor always chose to fight him again, and again. If there was a way to describe their relationship, it would be that they wanted to kill each other out of love. Naturally, if second senior brother was not around, the juniors would be picked to become first senior brother's practice partner. Like what just happened today. Chapter 6:12. How did he suddenly go missing? Luna frowned. No wonder first senior brother was so desperate for a fight, even when she was clearly lacking training and would be no challenge to defeat at all. But knowing second senior brother, wasn't it normal for him to go missing for a few days? It's not unusual for him to not show up for a few weeks, Luna told Trevor. In the organization, she was the closest person to second senior brother. He always brought her around to do crazy things like extreme sports. Him not behaving wildly would be odd. At that point, she felt that her master was indeed very wise. When he adopted second senior brother, he had christened him Tang Lang, fitting indeed. "Half a year," Trevor replied her. "What? Half a year? That long?" Luna was startled. That does seem a little too long. Was there no news about him in these past few months?" "Nope." Trevor was about to ask Luna if she had been contacting Tang Lang, but from her reaction, he knew she had not. Could it be that something has happened to him? Luna mumbled worriedly. Tang Lang was an arrogant fellow and loved to cause trouble everywhere. He was not lacking in enemies and probably would bump into one even if he just left his house to dispose of his trash. Even a random dog on the sidewalk would have probably been victimized by him before. "He had better stay dead outside," Trevor said coldly. Luna glanced at Trevor, not believing his cruel facade for a second. "You're the one who'll miss him the most." A while ago, in a black car on the ground floor. Theo's face remained unchanged, all emotions sealed within him. "Bro, are you alright?" Cleo asked anxiously. He seriously thought about finding someone to help his brother fend off these romantic rivals. Theo was looking at the bright screen and instructed, "Cleo, please stand by outside." "Why?" "I don't want to." "You're hiding something from me." Cleo frowned, acting petulantly like a child. Theo looked at his brother sharply. "Be good." Cleo was intimidated by his brother's simple words and alighted from the car, but he looked back at his brother with unease the moment he left the car. Theo made a phone call after Cleo left. A lazy voice drawled, "Hello. Do it now." No words were spoken for a while, then a whine came through, "Boss, it's already quite a rush if I were to follow the timing we decided on earlier and you want me to do it now? It's really tough on me. You've been torturing me lately." "Trevor isn't there," Theo said. Another short silence ensued before he answered, this time in a confident tone, "It's impossible for Trevor to leave." Theo turned on the video call and showed the other person the screen. On the screen, Trevor was kneeling on one knee in front of Luna with a bouquet of roses in his hands. Chapter 6:13. After he saw the screen, the man was stunned. "What the F***CK? What's wrong with Trevor? Has he gone mad? Damn him, he's flirting with girls behind my back. Based on my calculations, you have 6 hours for him to travel back, Theo reminded him and was about to turn off the video, but the man quickly stopped him. Wait. This girl looks familiar. Why does she look like my little junior sister? She really does look like her. Little junior sister in a girl's outfit? Boss, please give me a high-definition version for better clarity. All of a sudden, Theo ended the call without hesitation. Theo continued staring at the screen. The shot was taken from a distance, so there was no audio. He did not know what their conversation was about, but from Luna's expression, she seemed to have rejected him. The two of them had suddenly fought in combat with each other and then came down to a discussion. In the end, Trevor told Luna, "If he contacts you, let me know immediately." It really was true love between them. Okay. Luna nodded, then asked, "But how do I contact you?" "I can't call or message your number." "I'll give you permission to, but only a message a day." Luna was speechless. This guy was even harder to contact than the Emperor. Trevor raised his hand and the helicopter behind him started whirring to life. Luna held her skirt down as the wind churned all around her. Trevor stood there and stared at her as if he was examining an exotic creature. Luna was confused. First senior brother, what's wrong? Little junior sister, are you really a woman? Trevor looked at her like one of the world's wonders. Luna's face darkened like the bottom of a burnt pot and ground out between her clenched teeth. Don't you think your sentence doesn't make sense? How can your little junior sister be a man? The girl in front of him donned a pink dress, with silky long hair whipping in the air, looking extremely feminine and surprisingly attractive. If he had not seen her picture in a female outfit before, he could not have possibly recognized her as Luna would finally announced, "I'm leaving." However, before he stepped away, he turned around. "Can't you think about it?" He felt he should do more since it was an S-class mission after all. Luna was wondering what he was going to say and did not expect this attempt of his. "No, thanks, I would like to stay alive longer." Trevor nodded, agreeing with her point. Luna was relieved to see Trevor finally leaving, but Trevor spoke further. "Satan asked me to tell you something." Luna raised an eyebrow coolly. "What?" "I'll meet you at our old meeting spot a month later in Philadelphia." Trevor then boarded the helicopter without waiting for Luna's response. The helicopter rose slowly and the wind picked up. Luna looked glumly at the departing helicopter. Damn it. She thought she could get away with this. There was more to it. How long was she going to suffer from this? Chapter 6:14. After Trevor left, Luna felt pressured for a whole month, as if she was just diagnosed with cancer by the doctor and was counting down the days till the Grim Reaper came for her. Meeting Trevor and meeting that person directly were two completely different matters altogether. There were many unpredictable events on this journey. And she had to go. Luna passed the days by bringing little treasure to different places and having fun. She put all her effort into Spirit Studio and the promotion for The World. She also made sure to spend some time with her grandfather. The post-processing for The World was complete and she now had to travel to various cities to promote the movie. Everyone with experience would know that promoting was much more exhausting than acting itself. Emma and Ethan were both busy and they only went to a few main cities to promote it, but Luna had to follow the crew and travel everywhere. In between promoting, she spent some of her precious time discussing with Angelo about the upcoming Golden Award competition. She was not keen on preparing herself for her new acting gig yet, as she was afraid that she might not be able to come back. She wished that she could have more time to spare, even skimping on her sleep to 4 to 5 hours every day. She simply had too much to do in this short 1 month. When Luna just finished one of her road shows, she received a call from Cleo. "Luna, why couldn't I reach you?" Cleo asked urgently. "I was on the plane just now." "What's up?" "You have 10 seconds. Luna said coldly. "Luna, are you possessed by my brother? Why are you talking like him?" Cleo asked. "You have 7 more seconds." Cleo was speechless. 5 more seconds. "Please help me, Luna bro. I know you've been really busy recently, but I wouldn't call you if it's not urgent." Cleo quickly blurted out. What happened? Luna asked. My brother went on a rampage. Cleo groaned. What do you mean? Luna frowned. Actually, this happened half a month ago. He has been acting weird ever since you went to Fahua Temple and convinced Mason to turn away from monkhood. Fahua Temple? Luna had been so overwhelmed with her last few weeks on Earth and she almost forgot about the entire incident. In fact, she felt like it happened eons ago. Yes. And I'm sorry, Luna bro, there's been something I've hidden from you. Cleo stuttered. What is it? Tell me quickly. I'm on my way to the studio to have some discussion with Angelo. It's the Golden Award competition tomorrow. Luna pressed him. My brother found out about what you did to Mason in the temple. Cleo divulged swiftly. Luna was speechless. Then, she roared into her phone, why would your brother know about it? Cleo. Did you rat me out? You told him, didn't you? Luna would strangle him to death across the line if she could. Cleo quickly explained, I was going to check on the situation, but he figured it out himself that you'd seduce Mason, so I could only tell him the truth. In the end, tragedy broke out. My brother has been in hell mode since that day. Not only that, there's one more thing. Chapter 6:15. Luna put her hand to her forehead and clenched her teeth. Cleo, you idiot. Couldn't you just have denied it? She took a deep breath and calmed herself down. What else? That midnight, at the top floor of the Regal Riviera Hotel, my brother saw someone proposing to you. Luna clamped her lips tightly together, not wanting to say anything. Could there possibly be anyone unluckier than her? This was one of her worst moments ever in her life. Everything was falling out of place. Murphy sure was going all out on her with his stupid law. Luna bro, only you can do this, I can only rely on you now. Cleo begged. There's no use. What can I do? Luna said exasperatedly, flailing her hand into the air. Please help, Luna bro, my brother is acting really weird lately. I hope that you can at least talk to him. I really wanted to share his burden but he's not telling me anything. Cleo sounded disappointed. Although Theo always looked cold, he was a really kind and caring person beneath that steely exterior. As his only brother, he had always been protected safely under Theo. Despite being strict with him, he would never let him be involved in anything dangerous. Behind Lu Corporation's achievements lies the abyss, and Theo was the one who handled it, and what Cleo faced was just the glory. At the airport, Luna inhaled deeply and looked at the time on her phone. She asked while flagging down a taxi, where's your brother now? Cleo quickly replied, in the office. Little treasure's here too. Got it, I'll be there in half an hour. Luna sent Angelo a message to let him know that she would be late, then she hopped into a taxi and went on her way to the Goldberg Corporation. It was about half a month since she last saw Theo. If she only had a month left to live, what she wanted most, of course, would be to spend those precious moments with the person she loved. But she had too much to be done and she did not dare to face Theo because she was afraid that she might not be able to control herself. The share prices of the Goldberg Corporation had been rocketing and major achievements of the company were announced one after another, so she thought that Theo was doing well. At the office, Luna looked at the employees and saw everyone had dark circles under their eyes, looking as if they had just crawled out from the grave. Those achievements that were strewn across the business news surely came at a high price. Cleo quickly pulled her to a corner when he saw her. Luna bro, have you got a plan? Luna looked at him expressionlessly. No. Cleo's face went pale and he mumbled, void as the world is void, I should go and become a monk as well, then, I can go to the heavens instead of to hell. Luna glared at him and stomped on his shoe. Go and get me a bottle of wine. What a troublemaker. Cleo's eyes shone. Have you got a solution now? Luna massaged her arms which were stiff from the long period of sitting on the plane. Quickly. All right, just a moment. Cleo came back with a bottle of wine. Luna bro, the wine is here. Luna took it over from Cleo, opened it and to his horror, poured it all over herself. Then, she drank a little and handed the bottle to him. Chapter 6:16. Luna bro, what are you doing? Cleo asked weakly. Luna had a terrifying expression on her face. She only uttered, your brother. She then walked towards the CEO's office. Cleo was speechless by the situation that had just unfolded. Brother? What was happening? Cleo could only watch as Luna went into the CEO's office and he waited outside anxiously. The moment she got in, Little Treasure went up to her. She had not seen Little Treasure for a few days as she had been traveling for the past 1 week. She kissed him and did not want to let go, but she remembered what she had to do, so she told him gently, baby, can you go to your second uncle for a while? Spare me 10 minutes here. Little Treasure nodded obediently and went out to look for Cleo. Cleo was nervously wringing his hands and pacing up and down nervously outside. 10 minutes, she said. Would that be enough? After Little Treasure went out, Theo looked at the girl with his stormy eyes, his real emotions barely showing through. You're back. The girl looked slimmer and her aura was slightly different as well. It seemed colder than before, conflict flashing momentarily in her eyes. What did not change was his impulse to hug her right away. During that period of time, he thought about flying over to her place to see her even for a single glance, but he did not dare not to. He could not face her with the knowledge of what he had done behind her back. He knew that she was the love of his life, but he had still done something that might hurt her. Luna put down her luggage and handbag, then took off her coat and walked towards Theo. As Luna came closer, Theo's eyebrows furrowed and he interrogated in a slightly unhappy tone, did you drink? Yeah. You promised Little Treasure you'd cut down on alcohol. With such a thick cloying stench of alcohol on her, she seemed to have drunk a lot. Luna rested her palms on his table and grinned at him. Are you going to tell on me? The notches between his eyebrows deepened even more as Luna displayed her indifference. If you don't take care of yourself, I might consider putting your current work on a halt. Luna felt bitter about this man's unique way of showing his concern. She was probably going to die soon, so what was the point of taking care of herself? What was there left to ponder so much about? She should just let herself go and not bother concealing anything anymore. Theo seemed very upset. He picked up the phone and was about to call Stacy. Hello. Before Theo could continue any further, Luna pressed down on the hang-up button and cut off the line. Then, much to his shock, she suddenly closed in and pressed her lips against his. Theo's hand froze with the dead dial tone still beeping on the phone. His expression was indescribable and he was rigid as a statue. Luna slowly backed away after a few seconds. She looked at him seductively with a blush creeping to the apples of her cheeks and in an innocent tone, she said, Boss, can I bribe you? Chapter 6:17. You're drunk, Theo declared as he broke out of his stupor and kept his composure. Boss, you haven't answered my question. Luna refused to give up so easily and her smoldering gaze made her act even more realistic. She wore a short black dress today, fully exposing her delicious skin and her luscious collarbones. Theo gulped as he averted his gaze from her and ordered coldly, we'll talk about this after you're sober. Go and take a nap in the lounge. Luna felt annoyed. She put in so much effort into this. And now he was acting like a saint. You devil, if you are going to continue acting this way, you will never ever get laid. Luna clenched her teeth and decided to take the game to the next level. Theo, I can't move, carry me there. She even changed her way of addressing him, drawing out his name pleadingly. Theo's hand slipped and he accidentally made a mark on the paper with his pen. He refused to look at her and dismissed her. Go on your own. Damn it. Luna was really impatient now. Her time was precious. He could at least be kinder towards her. They had not met for such a long time and he was treating her this coldly. Luna took out her phone and pouted. Fine. I'll get someone else to carry me. Theo finally looked up and glanced at the screen of her phone. He saw Mason's name. Before Luna could put the phone to her ear, she suddenly felt herself floating away from the floor. Instinctively, she wrapped her arms around Theo's neck to keep her balance, and with a cunning look in her eyes, she tried her best not to grin. Theo's expression became even colder as he carried her to the lounge. Although he looked really unhappy, he put her down on the bed very gently. He then helped her to remove her shoes and pulled the sheets up to her chin, exposing only her palm-sized face, and spoke to her in a warning tone, "Sleep." Luna blinked her eyes and nodded like an obedient little child, but what she was about to do was the complete opposite. The moment Theo stood up, Luna yanked his hand so hard that Theo lost his balance and ended up on the bed right beside her. To avoid him escaping, she crawled onto him and pinned him down, whining, "I can't sleep, stay here with me." Theo was annoyed and asked in a low voice, "Who gave you the wine?" He was going to kill that person. In the meeting room, Cleo, who was with Little Treasure, suddenly sneezed multiple times. "Ugh, who's cursing me behind my back?" He glanced at his watch. 5 minutes had passed and he had no idea what was happening in the room. In order to ensure his own survival, however, he did not dare to peek, no matter how curious he was. He just suppressed his curiosity, and imaginary situations flew around in his head. He had no idea what Luna was going to do and what would happen if she failed. Chapter 6:18. Luna looked at the man and gently caressed his face. She ran her slender fingers along his high nose, his cold eyes, his thin lips. She wanted to remember his face, every inch of it, every angular surface, every stubble. Okay? She wanted him to accompany her even for just a little while longer. Even though he knew that she was not sober, he could not refuse her request. Okay. Luna gave him a satisfied smile and closed her eyes in peace. But after a while, she peeked at him and whispered, "I still can't fall asleep. Can you pretty please kiss me?" "Sleep." With a piercing look, Theo pulled the sheets higher, covering her. "Oh." Luna was disappointed. Theo softened when he saw Luna's mournful eyes and he kissed her on the forehead. As he was preparing to leave, the girl threw her arms around his neck and kissed him on the lips, molding her lithe body as close as she could to his. It was not his first time kissing her. He had tried many methods to get closer to her before, but this was the first time she kissed him on her own accord. Theo felt her sweet, gentle lips undulating against his as an indescribable feeling rose in him. His emotions ushered him to indulge in this sweetness while his rationale practically yelled at him. Who did she think was she kissing, and who did she take him for? His rationale was straying further and further away, drowned out by the lust. At last, he hugged her and was going to take the lead, but she fell on his chest. Theo panicked and quickly helped her up, then he saw her fast asleep. Theo was speechless. This girl acted all drunk and crazy, turned him on, and now she was asleep. Luna was exhausted after a long flight. Even on the plane, she had been busy settling matters related to her studio to the point that she could even fall asleep while seducing the devil. Even she did not expect this herself. While she was in her slumberland, she faintly felt a feather-like sensation on her forehead which brushed downwards to her lips. At first, it hurt slightly, then it became gentler. Luna slept soundly, and by the time she woke up, the sky was already dark. Luna quickly sat up and turned on the table lamp. She checked the clock on the table. She had been sleeping for 2 hours. What the heck did Cleo give her? Just one gulp of that wine and down she went. How did I sleep for so long? She thought she would just take 10 minutes. She had a lot of things to work on and she wondered if the studio tried calling her. Luna quickly looked at her phone, then she realized it was switched off. Damn! Who switched off my phone? She had charged her phone fully not too long ago. It was impossible for it to run out of battery so soon. I switched it off. Any complaints? A cold voice suddenly came from the sofa opposite her. Luna trembled at the voice. She slowly turned her head towards the man. No, nothing, as you wish. Are you sober now? Theo looked at her while closing his file. Yes, very sober. She knew he was going to get back at her now. Then, let's talk about your issues at work. As expected. Luna remembered the last few moments before she had fallen asleep just now. Was it too late to continue seducing the devil now? Chapter 6:19. Look. Theo handed the document to her. What is this? Luna took it suspiciously. Working policy. Number 1, no working more than 6 hours a day. Isn't that too little? According to the law, the maximum is 8 working hours. As she mumbled, Theo gave her a cold stare, so Luna shut up and continued. Number 2, no overdrinking. Number 3, eat 3 meals a day. Number 4. Finally, Luna came to the last one. Number 10, no bribing the boss. Memorize them. Oh. Under Theo's supervision, only after she had memorized all 10 of his commandments did he let her leave. She was chased out as if he was afraid that she might jump him again. Was she that terrifying? What she did was not completely an act. The effects from Cleo's wine was pretty strong. Was the devil not concerned about her seducing Shishirchin? She was trying to make it up to him and make him feel better, but things escalated so quickly and went way out of her hands, and in the end. Luna felt better though, as if she had taken some magical potion. She felt relieved from all her fatigue and stress, and even her steps became lighter. Come to think about it, it seemed like Theo had comforted her instead of the other way round. She had given herself too much pressure. Things were not as bad as she had thought. If the person wanted to do something against her, he had had many chances earlier. He could have even wiped her out during Trevor's last visit. From her 1 year of absence, she knew that she was just an unimportant character. She vowed to settle it this time at the meeting. However, it would remind her of her old pathetic self by going there alone. It was not that she could not face Trevor or that person, it was her old self that she did not want to face. On the way to the studio, Luna was about to call Gong Shangza when a call came in. Cleo's excited voice came through. Luna bro, Luna bro, Luna bro, Luna bro. Are you a broken CD player? My brother has returned to normal. Did you guys do it? Cleo sniggered. He could only think of that possibility. Luna's nostrils flared as she scolded him. Stop imagining things. Do you think your brother would act that fast? Cleo had no words to reply. He would not have thought about it since Luna had said it would take just 10 minutes, but in the end, Luna had stayed in there for over 2 hours. 2 hours was not short. However, it seemed like an eternity for his brother who had been holding in for so long. Speaking of which, what kind of wine did you give me? It was an expensive one. It's known as the one shot down. Cleo told her excitedly. What are you trying to do by giving me a whole bottle of that? I thought you'd give it to my brother and seduce him, so of course, I got you the best. Who'd have known that you would only drink a little and pour the rest all over yourself? He was not wrong. She really did seduce him, but not with the wine, you idiot. Chapter 6:20. After talking to Cleo on the phone, Luna was chatting to Little Treasure when a phone call from the studio came. Hello, Freya. Luna sis, something's wrong. Something happened to Angelo. Come over quickly, the studio assistant urged, her voice laced with worry. Something has happened to Angelo? What is it? He suddenly fainted. Luna gasped, why did he suddenly faint? Don't worry, I'm already on my way. I'll be there soon. That naughty child. He must have overworked himself. At Spirit Studio. The moment Luna pushed the door open, she saw Angelo's ashen face in the midst of a large pile of crumpled-up draft papers. The assistant, Freya, lay beside him, sobbing her eyes out. Luna sis. You're finally here. Freya looked up at her as though her savior had just arrived. She said between sobs, I've called for the ambulance, but the hospital says that they're too busy and can't arrange for a vehicle to come over, and I alone can't seem to carry him. Luna passed her bag and handphone to the assistant, then bent over and immediately lifted the unconscious Angelo by the waist before putting him on the sofa bed in the lounge area. Freya watched as Angelo was practically being carried like a bride over the threshold, and her mouth turned into an "oh." She exclaimed, Luna sis, your boyfriend's skills are amazing. No, it's just your director who's so light. Didn't I assign you to take care of him? Why does he look like he's gotten scrawnier in the last few days? Luna scowled. The assistant immediately looked guilty when she heard Luna's comment. Luna sis, I can't seem to advise him. You are probably unaware that although Angelo is generally a docile man, once he started working, his entire attitude changes and it's frightening. He practically turns from a monkey into a gorilla. If I make so much of a sound, he would shout at me furiously. I don't even dare to make any sound when I walk across the room, much less remind him to have his meals and rest. Luna sis, I think it's best if you talk to Director Angelo yourself. He only listens to you. From a monkey to a gorilla? Luna was confused by the assistant's description but agreed to her. Fine, I'll talk to him later. Then, she touched Angelo's forehead. Indeed, it was burning. He has a slight fever, Momo, go to the pharmacy downstairs to buy some medicine for his fever. Okay, I'll go now. The assistant quickly ran down to get the medicine. Luna and the assistant took care of him for a good part of the night before Angelo finally woke up and tried to sit up. Boss. Lie down, don't move. Luna pushed him back down and glared at him sternly. What did I tell you right from the start? Your body is your most important asset. If you don't have your life anymore, what use would that be? Those who didn't know better would think that I'm a cruel boss who mistreats her employees. This was karma. She finally understood how Lu Tingxiao felt. It really was difficult to be a boss. No, you don't. I am willing to. Angelo quickly responded. Even if you're willing, you still can't. I'm the boss and you have to listen to me. Or else, you should just get another job. Luna emphasized harshly. Angelo immediately panicked. Boss, I won't do it again. Please don't say that. Seeing the youth's haggard appearance, Luna sighed, look at you. Can you still attend the competition tomorrow? Since we have already discussed the flow many times, I'll go over with Freya. You stay at home and rest well. Boss, I have to go. It's already the finale. I'm fine, I won't have to do much then. I only need to watch the models on stage to make sure they don't make any mistakes.